Kurum. Right, so we could not conclude last time, but now the verse we were taking last week was 24 and 25 together. So that we're going to discuss a little bit and then we will take go. Sanjay Uvacha, verse 24. Sanjay Uvacha, Eva Mukto Rushikesho, Gudakeshena Bharata. Eva Mukto Rushikesho, Gudakeshena Bharata. सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति. Sanjay said, O Dhritarashtra, having thus been addressed by Arjun, the conqueror of sleep, Gudakes means conqueror of sleep, Sri Krishna then drew the magnificent chariot between the two armies. In the presence of Bhishma, Dronacharya, and all the other kings, Sri Krishna said, O Parth, behold, these Kurus gathered again. Okay, if you remember, last time, okay, we were discussing Senayoru Bhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. Bhagwan Krishna stationed Arjun's noble chariot in the open space between two armies. Bhagwan Krishna placed the chariot where? Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarvesham Chamhikshitam. Bhagwan Krishna placed the chariot with his, let me say the word, the different kind of understanding at such a point from where his kinsmen, such as Bhishma, his preceptor like Drona and chief kings and warriors of Kaurava army could be clearly seen. Let me take the liberty to use the word. That was Bhagwan Krishna's divine conspiracy. I don't try to use this word. That was Bhagwan Krishna's divine conspiracy. Otherwise, as I was telling last week to you, that he could have put chariot somewhere else. He could have parked the whole chariot somewhere else. He just wanted to see between two armies. He could have put it somewhere, but deliberately, purposely, intentionally, where he stationed the chariot, from where he can see Bhishma, the great-great-grandfather, the teacher, Drona, and all the relatives. Now we are going to start today. Uvacha Partha Pashyetan Samavetan Kuru Niti. What word Bhagwan Krishna has used? Kuru. The sons of both, sons of Pandav and sons of Dhritarashtra, sons of Kaurav and sons of Pandu. Dhritarashtra and Pandu, Both are included the moment you utter the word Kuru, because both of them belong to the Kuru dynasty, which is the Kuru family. Bhagwan Krishna, by saying, behold, all the Kurus assembled here. What we call in Gujarati, કે જોઈ લે, આ બધા અહીં ઉભેલા છે. Assembled here means that by seeing them, Arjun may think that they are all one. Whether they are on his side or they are on opposite side, and whether they are good or bad, and thus a feeling of kinship, mine, may develop in him. This feeling of kinship may lead to attachment and make him inquisitive. Thus, by making Arjun an instrument, underline the sentence, thus, by making Arjun an instrument, Bhagwan Krishna wants to preach the gospel of the Gita for the benediction of the creature of Kali, for you, for me, for all of us. Arjun was just a representative, all of us, for all of us. And therefore, Bhagwan Krishna, instead of using Dhartarashtra, used the word Kurun. The moment, as I told you earlier, when the moment you say Kuru means Kuru family, means Kaurav and Pandav all. If he had used Dhartarashtra, Arjun would have become enthusiastic, and Bhagwan Krishna could not have got a chance to preach the gospel of the Bhagavad Gita. And Arjun's delusion, born of kinship, could not have been destroyed. You know, that's according to scripture, that's the real teacher, that's the real master, that who creates the question himself and answers, or who creates their kind of circumstances that gives an opportunity to explain. Bhagavan Krishna thought it's his duty to destroy Arjun's delusion. As a surgeon first gives medicine to a patient suffering from a boil so that it may but subside, and then performs an operation. It's like that. To remove the disease part in the same way, Bhagwan first arouses the hidden delusion of Arjun and then destroys it. Need to understand that Bhagwan himself created this. As I told you and keep on telling again, Bhagwan could have put the chariot somewhere else, but purposefully stationed the chariot that from where he can see, and then addressing to Arjun, is a Kuru. Look at this, all assembled here, all your family. So here, Bhagavan Krishna, by using the phrase Kurun Pashya, Pashya means to see, watch, look at this, all the Kuru, first arouses delusion in order to destroy it by advice later. It's going to happen. We just started, not just started, the whole, our journey started on the 24th of January 2001. But now this is the second phase. Arjun, in the same chapter, in the 22nd and 23rd verse of this chapter wanted to behold and observe them. Because Arjun told to take the chariot. So Bhagavan Krishna says, behold, these Kuru. Bhagavan Krishna could have placed the chariot without uttering any words. Well, you could have just brought the chariot and parked there. He could not have, I mean, he did not have to say anything. But instead, he say, Kurun Pashya. So, uttering any words, he could have kept quiet. But he intentionally used the phrase Kurun Pashya. Look at this, all the family. Kurun Pashya to arouse attachment in Arjun. So, first Bhagwan created this circumstances, and then Bhagwan is going to give the medicine. There's a vast difference between love for the family and love for divinity, love for God. Yeah, we all love our family. But then, when we love our family, there are always ups and downs. Always we have to make them happy. And if we can't do that one time, we might have done it 20 times. But if you can't do one time, the opinion towards you will be changed. Yeah, it, I mean, it's your experience, it's my experience, it's our experience, because we are living in this world of reality. And that's why there's a very good proverb in Gujarati. ઘર ચલાવે તે ઘરનો વેરી ને ગામ ચલાવે તે ગામનો વેરી. Ghar means house. The head of the house who is looking after all the need of that house. Everything, right? But he can't please everybody. So there is some dissatisfaction is always there towards him. And of course, Gam Chalavate Gam Noveri, who is the head of that particular village. Here, let's put that the nation or the town. It's always going to happen. So there's a vast difference between love for the family and love for God or love for the divinity. Though there is also a little similarity because the common factor is love. But the love for the family, as I described earlier, can bring dissatisfaction. When we have love for members of our family, we overlook their faults because we have feeling of minus with them. Similarly, God also does not heed the shortcomings of his devotee. That applies to you, that applies to me, that applies to everybody. God also does not heed the shortcomings of his devotee because he has the feeling that he is his own. And then in the chapters to come, Bhagavan is going to say, Yo mad bhaktas same priyah. So, but in domestic love, importance is attached to matters such as all kind of relation. While in love for divinity, love for God, there's importance of feelings. In family love, there is importance of delusion, while in love for divinity, there is importance for alliance. Individual soul to the universal soul, the union. In family love, there is darkness, while in divine love, there is a light. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. A man is negligent on his duty in family love, while in love for God, being engrossed in love. A man may forget his duty momentarily, but it is never negligent on his duty. In family love, there is preeminence of the family, while in love for God, there is preeminence of God. And that's why my first appointment should be with God all the time. And those who are attending the chanting class, that is in the morning, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Vasudeva Sutandevam. First appointment with God should be with God all the time. Unfortunately, our first appointment is with mobile, with WhatsApp. Is there any message? Let me see. First appointment should be with the God. Because God should be in the center of our life. And we ourselves should put ourselves on the circumference. But we are putting ourselves on the center and God. We putting ourselves in the center and God on the circumference. So, in the above mentioned two verses, Bhagavan Krishna told Arjuna to behold the Gurus. Now, in the next verse, okay, Sanjay is going to describe what happened after that. Because as in the beginning I have explained, the battlefield is Kurukshetra, which is far away from Hastinapur. Let's consider Hastinapur is Delhi nowadays, okay? And Kurukshetra is about 150, 200 kilometers away. By God's grace, Sanjay had a divine eye, so he could see and he could exactly narrate what is happening on the battlefield, and he could see what is going on in the mind of that all warriors. Right? So now Sanjay says, verse 26. Tatrapashya sthitan partha pitrunath pitamahan आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखिंस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि. There, Arjun could see stationed in both armies his father, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncle, brother, cousin, sons, nephew, grandnephew, friend, father-in-law, and well-wisher. Tatra Pashya Sitan Partha Pitrunath Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratrun Putran Pautran Sakhinstatha Sasuran Surasyaiva Senayoru Bhayorabi. When Bhagavan Krishna told Arjun to behold the Kurus of the battlefield, Arjun saw the members of his family, his own family, assembled on both sides. He saw his father's brother, Name Bhurishrava, Kaka, okay, who was just like his father. He saw his grand uncles, Bhishma, Somadatta, etc., preceptor, teacher, Drona, Krupa, maternal uncle such as Purjit, Kunti Bhoj, Shalya, Shakuni, brother and cousin, Bhim, Duryodhana, etc., son such as Abhimanyu, Ghatotkach, Lakshmana, Lakshmana here is Duryodhana's son, etc., grandson such as the son of Lakshman, friends of Duryodhana, Aswathama, his friend, father-in-law, Drupad, and so many, and also well-wisher such as Satyaki and Krutavarma. So, in the next verse, there is description of what Arjun did after seeing members of his family in both armies. Verse 27. तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन्निदब्रवीत्. Arjun, the son of Kunti, Kaunteya means one of the names of Arjun, son of Kunti, seeing all those relations present there and standing at their appointed places, was filled with extreme compassion and uttered these following words in sadness. Tan sarvan bandhunavasthitan samikshya. Besides the warriors mentioned in the previous verse, Arjun saw great grandfathers such as Bahalik, etc., Drishtadumnu, Shikhandi, Suratha, sister's husband like Jayadratha, and several other relatives who were posted in different positions in both armies. Sa Kaunteya Krupaya Parya Vishto means that Arjun, who was ordered by Mother Kunti to wage war and who full of valor and stout heartedness entered the battlefield to observe the chief warriors of Kaurav army was overcome by cowardice after seeing the warriors who were related to him through family and learning of both sides. Arjun suddenly developed an attitude of kinship with them because he thought that on both sides there were his kinsmen and they would be killed in the war. The despondency started now because he has seen, oh my God, I'm here. And what's going to happen? Both sides, because remember, Kurun Pashya, Bhagavan has uttered the word, see the family. And he is seeing this, he's seeing this. So they would be killed in war. In this way, it was his family that would be destroyed on either side. Thinking thus is, I mean, thinking thus, he became coward, timid, and he gave up the idea of war. He gave up. He was there to fight. He was there on the battlefield. War was declared already. And now he gave up the idea of war. This faint heartedness has been called by Bhagwan Krishna. This is going to come in second chapter. Kashmala, rejection and weakness. Hriday Daurbalya, Kashmala of the heart. Arjun also accepted it as, I mean, he that's going to come in second chapter. He has, I mean, totally lost himself. He started thinking, so what's going to happen if this war takes place? That faint-heartedness is temporary phase in him, while valor is his permanent virtue of his life. Thus, the temporary phase of faint-heartedness cannot last too long, while that valor will remain forever. Krishna knew that. Krishna knows that. What is the extreme cowardice? Extreme cowardice is Arjun is that he does not think and make effort to kill his cruel and unrighteous opponents, such as Duryodhan, Dushasan, Shakuni, etc., who, without any reason, insulted the Pandav, gave them trouble, and tried to kill them somehow or the other. On the other hand, he is taking pity on them and is thus deviating from his duty of the warrior class. Because Arjun, born in warrior class, is duty to fight. On the other hand, his duty to respect the elder, those who are in front of him, like Bhishma, like Drona, like Krupacharya. Vishidantam idam abbravet. Arjun is very much dejected after thinking over the consequences of a war for the family, tribe, and country, and speaks the following word. That's in verse 28. Arjun uvacha द्रष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितम् द्रष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सं समुपस्थितम् सिदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते सिदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं स्त्रंसते हस्तात् गाण्डीवं स्त्रंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. Arjun said, what he says, O Krishna, at the sight of this kinsman thus arrayed here, eager to wage war, my limbs give way, my mouth is parched, My body shivers and hair stand on end. The bow, Gandiv, slips from my hand. My skin burns all over. My mind is reeling as it were, and I am not able to stand. गांडीवं संसदहस्ता त्वच्चैव परिदुह्यते सिदन्ति मम गात्राणि दृष्ट्वेवं स्वजनं कृष्ण योत्सं समुपस्थितम्. Arjun loved the name Krishna very much. So he has been addressed by this name in the Gita nearly 9 times. Okay. More than any other name. Of course, like Arjun, in whole Bhagavad Gita, different name has been used for Bhagavan Krishna too. Bhagavan Krishna similarly loved Arjun's name Partha, the son of Prutha, son of Kunti. Therefore, while talking together, both of them addressed each other by these names, and this fact was well known to other people also. Therefore, Sanjay, at the end of the Gita, in the I don't know when it comes, end of the Gita is 78th of 18th chapter. It says, mention Krishna and Partha. What is the verse? Yatra yogeshwarah Krishno, yatra partho dhanurdharah, tatra srir vijayo bhutir, dhruva nitir matir mama. Wherever is Bhagwan Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever is Partha, the wielder of the bow, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Right. So, Dhritarashtra in the first verse of this chapter uses the phrase Samaveta Yuyutsava, gathered together, desirous to fight. They were there to fight. And Arjun here has said, Yuyutsam Samupasthitam, arrayed, eager to fight. But there is a vast difference in the view of two. Dhritarashtra is partial to his sons. That's why he has used the words Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva. So he uses the word Mamaka. Mamaka means mine. And Pandava means Pandu's son. But Arjun is impartial. So he uses the term Svajana. Kins, my own Swajana. He used the word Swajanam. Drashtvemam Swajanam Krishna Yutsam Samupasthitam. My people, Swajan, which includes persons of both sides. It means that Dhritarashtra is worried about the death of his sons in the warfare, while Arjun is worried about the death of warriors. Doesn't matter from the Pandav side or from the Kaurav side. So, about the death of warriors in both armies, because he thinks foreign groups are his own kith and kin. Thinking. He was in totally different direction. He was biased. And that's why in the beginning, the first verse, he asked, Mamaka, my, and Pandava. Whereas here, Arjun also thought, Arjun also used the terms, but he used the term Svajana, all my people, all my people. So, Drashvevam Swajanam, having seen this kinsman. It means that there is no change in the attitude of Duryodhan as far as war is concerned. But there is a lot of change in Arjun's attitude. First, after seeing the sons of Dhritarashtra, Arjun, like a hero, gets ready for war. But after seeing his relative present there, he is overwhelmed. With extreme compassion, his bow slips from his hand and he is not inclined to fight. Siddhanti mamagatrani. Thinking of the consequences of the war, Arjun is worried and sad. So his limbs are giving way. His mouth is getting parched. His body shakes and his hair is standing on the end. The same Gandhi bow, the sound of whose string terrified enemies is dropping from his hand and his skin is burning all over. Chinta, worry means chinta. Worry had been compared with pyre, Pyre, on one level, when the last rite takes place. There is a little difference between the two. Worry burns a living man, while pyre burns a dead man. Chinta, chita saman. His mind is reeling. B is in a dilemma and he is unable even to stand at the war front. He feels as if he will fall unconscious and thinks it's a sin to wage war. Look at the whole attitude is changed. He was there to fight. Now he start thinking, if I fight, it's full of sin. After describing the 8 signs of his sadness in the previous verse, now Arjun mentions the inappropriateness of war with inauspicious omens he sees. Okay, now he's going to start justifying why we should not fight. Okay, but that in verse 31 we will see next week. Okay, in today's talk, whatever you have enjoyed, whatever you have liked, okay, credit goes all the scripture, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied, and I shared with you in the very beginning. I'm sharing now also. Our main reference book is Sadhak Sanjivani, uh, written by Swami Ram Sukdas ji. So I'm using Pandit Swami Ram Sukdas's translation explanation, and then we are discussing. Okay, so we're going to conclude this class. Okay, we're going to recite the 73rd verse of chapter 18, followed by the Arti. Okay. Okay. 73rd verse, right? Okay. Can somebody start the 73rd verse? You can on the speaker. Let's see who is going to start. Let's see.